Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello crafters and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to make a card using the March 2023 card kit. It's a Love from Lizi card kit and it's called Spring Friends. I have my first card here and it's a type of accordion base style card, and for that what we need is a piece of cardstock measuring 11 by 6. So this card will be a 6 by 6 card when it's folded down. So this piece, which measures 11 by 6, is going to be scored, and we're scoring it at 3, at 6, and at 8.5. I also have another piece of cardstock here, and this piece measures 6 by 4.5. On the 4.5 inch side, we're going to score it at 2 and at 4. These two pieces are going to be joined together by this 1/2 inch tab, and we're going to fold this up in an accordion style. So we'll have a mountain, a valley, a mountain, a valley, and a mountain. Onto this then, we're going to put some pattern paper and some matte layers. I have 2 pieces of white cardstock, and this measures 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. I have a piece of pattern paper to go on top of that. It measures 2.5 by 5.5. I have another piece of white cardstock. This measures 2 1/4 by 5 3/4, and I have a piece of pattern paper to go on top of that. It measures 2 by 5.5. And then I also have this piece of white cardstock. It measures 1 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I have a piece of pattern paper to go on top of that, and it measures 1.5 by 5.5. And don't worry about the measurements, folks. All you have to do is have a look down in the description, click on the More button, and there you'll find the measurements for this card. That's where I put the measurements for all of my cards, in the description, and you'll find links there to Lizi's kit and the Love from Lizi website, as well as other links are down there too. Okay, so that's mostly what we need for this card. I have here, you'll see 3 circle frames. This frame measures 5.5 inches on diameter. All 3 of them do. Now, to make these frames, I just took 2 nesting dies and I put them together like so. Now you can use whatever nesting dies you have in your stash, but I have these nesting dies. They're Love from Lizi nesting dies, and they really are quite good. The largest measures 5.5 and the smallest is 1/2 inch diameter, and they're stitched, so they're really lovely, and I find I go to them regularly. I've also got this die set in my stash. It's from the January 2019 kit, and I love this die simply for the cloud. I use it so much in my crafting. Whenever I want a cloud, I come to this time and again. So I do believe Lizi has this set in the website, or on the website, so have a look there, but you can use whatever little cloud die you have in your stash. So I have my 3 clouds here that I have die cut out, and on 2 of them I have stamped a sentiment. I have hip hooray and congrats. Those are stamped using the stamp set that came in this month's kit. In this month's kit, we get a stamp set and we get 2 dies. You can see here, one of them is thank you. I've die cut it out in blue. And then the other one is birthday wishes. And they really have a lovely font to them. In the stamp set, we have 2 little gorgeous hedgehogs, as well as some sentiments and some floral pieces. And you can see all that came in the kit in my unboxing video, and again there's a link to that down below. So I've used the congrats and the hip hooray on these 2 clouds. I've also taken one of the hot air balloons with the little hedgehog, and this is on this sticker sheet. I took it off the sticker and I put it onto some 300 GSM cardstock, so it's nice and strong, and then I just fussy cut around the sticker on my white cardstock. I've taken some of the ribbon and I've tied a little bow, and I'm going to use that to embellish my card. And I've also taken some Love from Lizi dies. Lizi has some alphabet dies in her stash, and I love these ones. They're a nice size alphabet set. So I have taken these and I have die cut out Baby Girl in pink. I also have taken these peel-offs from my stash. They're an iridescent, they're like a baby pink sparkly peel off, and they're all the same width. I love these, and I'm going to embellish my card using these. So that's everything I'm going to use in this card. Let's do a little bit of assembly and some gluing down. So I have my 2 pieces of my green cardstock for my card base, and I'm taking some Kalal adhesive glue, and I'm going to use that to glue my tab down. So I'll just add a little bit of glue. You can use some double-sided tape if you have it, or tape runner, whatever you have in your stash. I just want to glue these 2 down together. And I'll give that a minute to set, and then I'm going to fold these on the score lines. So now I'm going to start on this end here, and this is our score line that's at 3 inches. I'm going to fold that as a mountain, and I'm going to use my scoring tool to burnish that. Then I'm going to fold into a valley, and I'm making sure to keep everything nice and straight. I'm going to turn it around this side. Being right-handed, it's easier to do it that way. Then the next one is going to be a mountain, so I'll fold that over and burnish that. The next one then is a valley, and this is where our tab has joined on to our second piece. And then the last one is a mountain. So we have what looks like 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and they are going to sit like so. So now what we want to do is embellish each of these with our white cardstock and our pattern paper, and I have those here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to quickly glue my mats and pattern paper together. So I have my pattern paper on my mat layers here, and I was about to stick down, and I realized I need to put down my frame, and I want that to sit in here like so, and I need to make sure that when that sits down there, that it doesn't go over 6 inches. Otherwise what will happen is the card won't fit in the envelope. So you can use your grid lines to work on that. So I recommend, you know, either use your grid lines or put down a ruler, but this should fit nicely on there. So what I need to do is add glue to the bottom half of this frame, stick it down, and then I'm going to stick my pattern paper on top. Now you could stick this down and stick that down on top if you like, but I like the idea of it hidden behind the pattern paper. So that's what I'm going to do next. Attaching these frames, I'm going to use again my Kalal glue, the construction glue. I'm making sure that I have the same amount on the left and the right of the frame. Now I'm bringing my frame up so it'll measure at 6 inches, and then I'm going to put this panel on top. I'll add the next frame then onto the next step, and what I'll do is I shall drop that down just a little bit, and I'll glue that down. So once I have that there, so it's not lined up with the frame behind, I've it just staggered down a little bit, and then I can put my panel on top of that. And then once I have that glued in place, I can put down our third frame. Now you really, if you're using 300 GSM cardstock, you'll really only need 3 frames. But if you're putting something heavy on the frame, you'll need to double up the frames. And although I only put 1 frame down here, I'm going to go back with another frame and I'm going to double up this one. So I'll add it onto the back because of the piece of ephemera I'm adding is heavy. So now we have our accordion card all ready here to go. Now we just need to embellish it. So I've got my quick grab glue here. I've also got some foam tabs that I'm going to use, some foam squares if I need them. And it's just a matter of assembling now. So that's what I'm going to do next. Now it's about deciding where I want my hot air balloon. Do I want it on the front frame, the back frame, the middle frame? And for a finish, I put it on the front frame. I have got a little room because that frame has been staggered down. I can actually have the balloon up over the top of that frame. You can see it there. I'm going to add my 2 clouds, and what I'm doing is I'm just marking where I want to cut them off because I don't want it coming out the other side. So I'll just trim the little bit of extra off that one, and then I can add this one in. So you can add your clouds to whichever of the frames you want. I'm going to have the 2 sentiment clouds on the middle frame, and then this cloud here I'll put at the back frame. So our card sits like that when it's flat, and it will sit like that when it's open. So this is what you'll see. So now we want to embellish the front of our card. So I've got my little bow as well as my baby girl. So I'm going to glue them down. I'm using a little liquid glue to glue down my bow. I do normally use some hot glue. I find that quicker and easier, but I've went with the liquid glue for the bow and it sticks down perfectly well with the Cosmic Shimmer glue. I'm also using that glue to glue down my baby girl die cut letters, and I used letters from the Love from Lizi website. They're the alphabet set, and I'll have links to that down below. So I have my stamp now in my positioner, and I'm going to use some of my VersaFine Clair cheerful ink, and I'm going to stamp that down. And you can see here again, I have this more to the left hand side. I figured I could put baby's name there. It gives me plenty of room to write a message as well. So I'm happy with that. I'm just going to give it another little inking. Yeah, lovely. And I'll give that a wipe. I find when you clean off the excess of the VersaFine Clair ink straight away, it's easier to clean your stamps. So now I have my... Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in our heart, and this is a stamp from my stash. So I want to embellish this now, and I'm going to add a little hedgehog onto this. So there's loads of little hedgehogs on this, and I think what I'll use is, it's the little one with the flower. I like the little one with the star there. I think that's so pretty. So I might add this little hedgehog in here. And I'm going to pop it down there. Lovely. So I'll add a little bit of adhesive now to this, and then I can pop this onto the back of our card. So there we go. There is our accordion frame fold card, I think I'll call this, and I think this looks so cute. I absolutely love it, and I have all our embellishments on it. I think what I will do for a finish is I will add a little bit of glossy accents over the baby girl, and you'll be able to see that in the pictures at the end. I've also added a 4th frame on here to the back of our 1st frame, and the reason for that is because our hot air balloon has a bit of weight to it, it was making the frame kind of sit back. It was lying back quite a bit, and having added a second frame onto this, it really does make it sit up really nice. So I'd recommend doing that. You could actually add a frame to each of them. So instead of doing just 3 frames, you could die cut out 6. You could put 1 frame on this way and then add your second one to the back there. So you could do that for the second one and the third one. If you think it needs it, make sure you do it before you stick that panel down. But I honestly don't feel it needs the doubled up frame on these two. I don't think the weight is there like it was for the ephemera piece, the sticker piece here that I added on. I have to say, in front of me it looks really well. It's kind of hard to show you. I think that's probably the best there that you can see. When it's stood up, it just looks like that. It's so cool. I love it. And this, I have to say, of all the cards I've came up with and designed for this kit, of the 10 cards, I think this is my favorite. So we'll have to see how we get on with the rest of the cards. So that's it. If you have enjoyed my tutorial, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. And if not, please click the subscribe button and ding the bell. That way you'll be notified each time we post another card. You'll be notified and you'll be able to watch my video. And I will have 10 cards using this kit. This is card 1. So in 2 days' time, I'll post another, etc. So that's it, folks. Don't forget, check the links down below. Down there, if you click on the more button, it will expand. There's links to Lizi's web shop, also to the subscription. There's links to the card measurements for this card and everything that you'll need to make it, as well as to Lizi's Facebook group and my Facebook group. If you make this card, we'd love for you to share it on our groups so that we can see your version of this card. So that's it. I'm going to leave it there, folks. I hope you like this card. And until next time, see you for another one soon. Thanks for watching and bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.